And we finally get to the epilogue. What awaits us? I sometimes recall the fight. The crying spirit and the sparks flying off the crashing swords. My attacks were immature, and it's not something one could call a sword dance. We were both clumsy and did not know of retreat. The ridiculous sounds of clashing swords were annoying, and I have no memory of them. At that time, I lost an answer and found an answer, so a plus and a minus makes a 0. Nothing has changed. He's him, and I'm me. I'm just watching this fading dream. It's been only a month, but it feels so dear now. It seems like it happened so long ago. The memory of it is fading day by day, and I can't even remember what the person I was fighting looked like. But that is to be expected. That was something that was impossible from the start. We did not believe that the fight would change anything. We just tried to beat each other to ascertain ourselves. So there is nothing to gain from victory. There never was any such thing. The loser comes to an end, and there is no prize for the winner. Man, it really was good for nothing. But I can still recall it if I close my eyes. The echoes of unrefined metals. A dazzling, distant technique that knew no retreat. It was our beliefs that crashed against each other. I fought against my own ideal to carry out my hope. The result is not clear yet. I don't know who won, or which of us remained. It should be a while before the result becomes clear. An illusion like a mirage that disappears when one turns around. Only the reverberation remains, and my feet will eventually reach. Wake up, you fool! Everyone else has already left for the assembly. Are you going to boycott it even though you are at school? My body is being shaken. The voice brings me back to reality. Oh hey, it's you. Student Council President. Wait, why are you here, Issei? Don't you have to be at the temple, doing your monk training? I raise my head to look at my classmate. Gotta be funny to see him shave that fucking hair, put on and become a monk. I just can't imagine that. Why? We're in our classroom. Today is our last day and it's 10 minutes before the closing ceremony. I came to look for you since I did not see you, but I did not expect to find you sleeping. I don't know if he's in a hurry or just plain angry, but Issei yells at me. We're the only ones in the classroom. It's 9:50. The closing ceremony starts at 10 o'clock, so I bet everyone's at the gym already. Hey, are you really awake, Emiya? Yeah, that woke me up completely. Thanks, Issei. I'm glad you came to wake me up. Huh? That's fine if you understand, but thank me later. We won't make it unless we hurry. I do not want to think about how angry Fujimura-sensei would get if she finds out we are not there. Oh, I gotcha. I can't face my classmates if Fujine gives us ridiculous amounts of homework before the vacation. I'll make sure to calm her down. Please. We will be too ashamed to face our classmates if she gives us more homework. I'm sure they will curse us. He sounds scary, but the frightening truth is it's very possible. The extra homework she gave us last summer after we got her mad was ridiculous. It wasn't even English homework. What was she thinking when she told us to enter any competition to win a medal? Emiya, we have to hurry. Sorry, I'm coming. We should hurry to the gym for now. It only takes 3 minutes if we run. We should make it 5 minutes early if no teacher finds us. No, we cannot run in the hallway. Oh, come on, stop. This guy is such a buzzkill. Oh, don't run in the hallway. I was too optimistic. As expected from the student council president, he is really committed, and he is still following the rules even now. That's splendid, Issei, but we won't make it if we walk. Let us hurry without running. We can make him any excuse as long as we're there on time. I nod and walk faster. We are in the middle of March, and the sky is amazingly blue. Fuyuki City has long winters, but spring is finally around the corner. The days went by quickly. It's been a month since the Holy Grail War. The city is back to normal now. The Holy Grail has been destroyed, and most of the damage caused by the Masters was taken care of by the Church. The person that came as a replacement for Kodamine is old but energetic, and everything was smoothly settled. But one can see the after effects of battle here and there. Kazuki Soichiro, the person that chose to fight as a master, is considered missing. Issei was sad that the one who he treated as an older brother was gone, but... He suddenly showed up at the temple to start with. It is only fitting that he leave the same way. Issei just laughed it off. The surprising thing is Fujine, and it turned out that they often drank tea together. She complained that she wanted to fight him once, so it seems Fujine knew that Kazuki was a master of martial arts. Shinji's life has been saved thanks to Tosuka, and he's currently in the hospital. I guess the hospital is part of the Magic Association, and he's getting better. Sakura is busy visiting Shinji, so she's been showing up at my place only on the weekends. I went to check up on them once, and they were getting along surprisingly well. That is pretty surprising. Not gonna say anything else about that. Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure everybody already knows that Shinji is probably abusive to his sister and doesn't treat her well in general, so that's just kind of weird. I don't know if that event took something out of him, or if he's just unenergetic from the wounds. It could be either one, I suppose. I guess that's a good observation. Either way, Shinji is ironic but honest. He's acting more like the Shinji I first got to know. Saber is not here anymore. I wonder what turned Shinji into such a dick then. It must have been the video games. She left this world after destroying the Holy Grail. Something constraining her must have been released when she destroyed the Holy Grail with her own hands. It's vexing that I cannot say goodbye to her, but I should be glad that she's freed from the binding of the Holy Grail. If I ever do see her again, I want to thank her as much as I can. So, and finally, the most important person. Tosuka! Right after we get down to the first floor. Oh, Student Council President, are you patrolling the building at this time? Or are you just taking care of the club rooms? I'm getting tired of saying this, but you really are diligent. We meet up with the person representing the students at the closing ceremony, who's coming out of the teacher's office. I'm also tired of hearing that line. Try guessing something else for a change. Or did you keep saying that on purpose? Issei glares at Tosuka. Huh? Of course it was on purpose. What, did you not realize that until now? I see. I thought you had more sense of humor, but I guess you really are a blockhead. I'm very sorry. I always use the same greeting to show my affection for you, but I guess it was hard for you to understand. What do you mean by affection? I've not done anything that deserves your affection. Come here, Mia. We will be late if we concern ourselves with this fox. Issei sure doesn't get along with Tosuka. Well, I feel the same way, so I'm in no position to feel sympathy. So, our eyes meet as I walk past her. We decided to act normally when there are people around. I naturally ignore Tosuka and follow Issei. But... Good morning, Emiya-kun. I'm glad you seem well. I don't... What are you doing? I don't know what she's angry about, but she embraces my arm and puts on a big smile. My hand goes blank. It's because even though we've been seeing each other, this is the first time we've touched each other in a month. Tosuka. I try not to blush as I bear the sensation of her touch. I'm joking. But it is true that I'm happy, Emiya-kun. Oh, let's go home together after you finish helping out the student council after the ceremony. I'll keep on waiting in my classroom. Tosuka puts emphasis on keep on waiting. What are you saying? Let go of him already. God damn, there goes the cross eyes again. It has nothing to do with you, Ryudo-kun. Excuse me, I'm busy as well since I have to make a speech in your place, student council president. What? Tosuka leaves, leaving behind the footsteps of a victor. What was that about, Emiya? What is your relationship with that fox? Well, it's hard to explain. First of all, I think I told you before that we're acquainted. That was a month ago. I warned you to cut your ties with her. Oh, I get it. Does she hold a weakness of yours? Well, I guess you can call it a weakness. Yeah, I suppose you could. I knew it. Dang. I cannot let you go now, Tosuka. Consult me, Emiya. Confess, Emiya. We shall give that fox her due punishment. Execution. Issei shakes me. Look at the time, Issei. The ceremony's starting. I do not care. The ceremony starts with a speech from that fox. It shall be mentally good for us not to hear it. The student council president keeps shaking me. Issei is normally calm, but his personality changes when it involves Tosuke. Tosuke must be his natural enemy, but... Sorry, Issei. I'm sorry to let you down, but I can't do anything about Tosuke. She'll beat me instead if I go to beat her. You shouldn't go near her. Yeah, because you'll probably get beaten too. Or you'll be shot with a Gonder shot. That is a rare negative comment coming from you. Is this weakness she's holding that bad? Unfortunately. So I'm leaving you to take care of Tosuke. I know it's a hard fight, but please do your best. I see. Alright, do not worry, Emiya. It is for the good of our school. I shall reveal her true identity and overthrow her. She seems to be planning something with all the athletic clubs, but the student council will be ready for her before the next year is out. The real match starts then. We didn't know the whole time that Tosuke was the real enemy here. The student council president smiles in anticipation. But Issei, we'll all be graduating in a year. Tosuke holds supreme authority over the school. She's like a dictator. The ceremony comes to an end, and the school starts to lose its liveliness. Spring break has started. Spring break! Most of the students have left with a smile, and the students in athletic clubs are getting ready for their training camps. There aren't many students left in the building. All the classrooms are empty, and the hallway is tinted in red. So you're finally done, huh? Issei makes you help out even on the last day. I'm sure it's his way of getting me back. An empty classroom. Tosuke smiles and says so as soon as she sees me come into the red-tinted class 2A. Hey, that's because you did that ridiculous thing. I would have been freed a lot earlier if you hadn't gone and said needless things. I complain as I go into the classroom. Why is it so awkward to go into someone else's classroom even though they all look the same? What, are you saying it's my fault, Shiro? Half of it is definitely you. Look, you're the one who said we should act as strangers until next year since everyone would get suspicious. So why did you do such a thing? Because I can. Huh, you don't mind a bit of a running start since this year's over, right? First of all, there are other ways to ignore me. We weren't in a cafeteria or something. We were the only ones there. So at least give me a nod or something. I don't know why she's unhappy, but Tosuke looks away and complains. Is it because of the evening sunlight? Her familiar gesture looks so fresh and cute that I'm fascinated. In many different ways. Man, here, I got this, but do you want it? I show her the orange juice that was distributed among the helpers. Oh, yeah, I'll take it. Good, you're considerate about things like this. She receives the juice box and takes a sip out of the straw. She's sitting by the window. She looks down at the campus as if she's watching something bright. I follow her example and look down as I drink. It must be the track team that's running. They sure are energetic, running like that when spring break starts tomorrow. Hey, were you on the track team before, Emiya-kun? Then, Tosuke suddenly asks me a strange question. Track team? No, I was always in the archery club. I see. Well, I guess there are times like that. Seeing the setting sun just reminded me. Telling me to forget about it, Tosuke continues to drink the orange juice. I forget about it if she wants me to. When she calls me Emiya-kun, half the time she's going to make a sarcastic remark, and the other half she's going to say something really important. I'm sure in this case it's the latter. After a month of studying magic under her, I'm finally starting to recognize her habits. But time sure flies by. It's already been a month since the Holy Grail War ended and you became my apprentice. At this rate, I'm sure a year will fly by as well. It's been a month since Tosuke started teaching me the basics of magic. I've been busy with hard work and Tosuke's malicious nature, but she's right now that I think about it. The past month sure went by quickly, so I'm sure a year would pass in a flash. A year, huh? We'll be leaving this school at that time. Yeah, today would be my last time in this classroom, and I'll be in a new classroom starting in April. And just like that, I'll be going to a new place in a year. Tosuke holds her knees and looks down from the window. A new place, huh? What will I be doing a year from now when I graduate? No, I don't even need to think about it. There's only one thing I must do. I need to make my ideal come true, just like he did. And, well, there is one other big goal right now, but I don't want to think about it since it's irritating. What will you be doing after you graduate, Emiya-kun? Are you going to succeed your dad? Huh? Well, that's true, but I want to become a proper magus more than I want to succeed my father. I can't boast unless I'm a proper magus. Oh? And to whom are you going to boast? She smiles as she asks. I'm going to be more than just a magical repairman. This. My other goal is to make her admit defeat. It doesn't matter, right? My goal right now is to become a proper magus, and that's why I'm your apprentice right now. Please give me your best regards for the next year. Oh, you sure are optimistic. You think you can become a proper magus in a year? I was ready to teach you for 10 years when you became my apprentice. But I see, you're fine with just one more year, huh? 10 years? That's great, but no, that's not it. That's really a long way ahead. Wouldn't you get tired? Nope. As your goal is to become a proper magus, my goal is to make you a proper magus. I have it all planned out in my head, you know? Should I write it down to give it to you? Well, that's great, but I guess that's impossible. You're going to succeed your dad, right? Then that means you'll be staying here after you graduate. Yeah, but what are you going to do? Your family supervises this town. You can't leave this town, right? Me? I'll be going to London after I graduate. I got an admission recommendation because of what happened, so I guess they're letting me in without any tests. What? You mean that London? The headquarters of the Magic Association? Yep. There's a limit to what I can do here, so I'm thinking of studying there for about 5 years. I hear that my dad did the same thing, and it's natural to go to the highest institute of education if you want to be a proper magus, right? It's like the Harvard equivalent for mages. I'm stunned. It's so sudden that my head blanks out. It's natural for Tosca, who's a legitimate magus. I finally realized the difference in our positions. London, huh? That's a really amazing thing, right? I don't know. It's vexing, but it's not because they approve of my own powers. I was only invited because of my dad's achievements, and because I'm the last one alive. She speaks casually, but I'm sure it's an amazing thing. But London, huh? That's certainly too far away. My father wasn't in the Magic Association. I'm just like him, and I don't like formal stuff. But you have the qualifications to enter in that case. I'm sure they'll test you if I recommend you. But I might be able to move there. I can start working more, study English, save up traveling and living expenses, and find a job over there. I know you're not enthusiastic about going there since the Magic Association is your enemy, but the clock tower has proper equipment and it's really well suited for training. Oh, but you have to keep your reality marble a secret, so I guess they'll test your basics. Whoa, would 1 year be enough? No, let's say I am able to rent an apartment there. I don't know what kind of place the clock tower is, but I'm sure Tosca will get even busier. Then it should be better for me to go there after I become a proper magus by myself. Yeah, that sounds good. First of all, London isn't suited for me. I'll bet I'll faint if I go there and it's filled with people like Kodamine. Hey, are you listening to me, Emiya-kun? Huh? Were you saying something, Tosca? Tosca frowns and shuts her mouth. So, after taking a deep breath, she makes a serious face and... I forgot to tell you, but I'm being invited as the successor of the Tosca family. In other words, I can get a proper room as a proper magus. She says something strange. I'm telling you that they approve of me as a proper magus, so it's not unusual for me to have an apprentice or two, right? There are factional disputes there, so I'm allowed to take at least one of my apprentices. Tosca sneaks a peek at me. That's... I may be blunt, but I know what Tosca's trying to say. In a word. Yup, I can unconditionally take one follower as an assistant. You won't have to take the test that way, and you'll be exempt from tuition fees. Well, it's rather than going to regular college. Well, but you'll be in a disadvantageous position because you'll be a student at the Magic Association without being part of it. My head resumes its thinking. No, I force it to start working again. What Tosca is telling me, I put every cell in my brain to work to weigh the options I have. I must look funny as Tosca is giggling. What? I'm not considering going there because you talked me into it, okay? Is that all you want to tell me? Well, I'm going to London. She looks kindly at me. Then, Tosca makes a mischievous expression. So, what will you do, Shiro? She asks me gently, with eyes that see through me. My face turns red. Her words and expression blow away my humility and my dislike of the Magic Association. This is what I mean by Tosca holding my weakness. I can't help it if I fell in love with her. Oh, why go silent now? I haven't heard your answer yet. She keeps smiling mischievously. She knows what my answer is, but she's mercilessly attacking me. To be honest, London is too far away, but I can't imagine myself being taught by anyone other than Tosca. And I never even thought about parting with her. Most of all, I want to be with Tosca. Be clear! This is important! Will you still come with me, even if it's as my assistant? She looks up into my eyes. She looks so attractive that I feel like my heart will pop out of my mouth. Shut up, you idiot! You idiot! If it's so important, tell me in a more appropriate place. I can't answer you when it's so sudden. Wow. Sure went into tsundere mode. I don't know what'll happen to me if I keep staring at her, so I look away. I still feel Tosca's presence. She's happily watching my reaction. Hey, Shiro, what's your answer? She murmurs gently. She's got me beat. Is it this hard to nod and reply honestly? But I can't turn around unless I say it to her. You idiot. Don't ask me such an obvious question. I meet Tosca's gaze and tell her my honest opinion. Her smile broadens at those words. Okay then. Please give me your best regards from now on, Emiya-kun. I'm going to train you until you become a proper magus, so prepare yourself. Same to you. I took that seriously. I'm going to get taught by you until I become a proper magus. Of course, I'm going to make you an honest man and have you lead a happy life. I won't allow you to give up just by getting taken to London. Where did her previous prettiness go? She says so with a daring smile and jumps off of the desk. The sunset should end soon. Spring break will end, April will come, and another year will pass by quickly. We will part with this scenery until then. After a year, Tosca and I will spend our final days of student life here. Let's go home. It'll be a lively dinner at your place today. We leave the classroom without any lingering memories. We can still hear the club activities from outdoors. The sounds are far off, and they remind me of the sword fight. I can't stay in the same place forever. Tosca and I will be going someplace different in a year. It should be a while before I find out if it's the right choice or not. I recall that red figure one more time. Neither this classroom nor that fight will change. Everything is the same. Everything is an illusion like a mirage that disappears when one turns around. But I can get there if I aim high. I will surely be able to catch up to his back with Tosca's help. So I'll come up with an answer at that time. The swords that echo far away. By relying on those sounds, I shall eventually reach that place. Walking with the wind blowing on your face, walking towards the future. Busy days with no compass to guide you. After traveling to distant exotic countries, you will return to where you belong, one sunny day. Well guys, that was the Unlimited Blade Works route. I hope you enjoyed that, I sure did. It was probably my second favorite route in the Fate Stay Night visual novel. And after this, I suppose I'm going to try to get the good ending and record that, since I'm going to be getting all the endings to get the special last episode at the end of this that's only in the Realta newer version. But yeah, that was Unlimited Blade Works. I hope you guys enjoyed this playthrough. It wasn't quite as long. It was not quite as long as the Fate playthrough, of course, because we didn't do the introduction, the prologue, and all that. So, but nonetheless, it's probably one of the best routes in here. Next, after we do the good ending, we will be doing the final route, Heaven's Feel, which is my favorite out of all of the routes. So that will be fun, and it's my favorite because it's such a different route. But I'll get more into that once we start the Heaven's Feel route. But that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next part. What came and went were distant memories. They were signs that he forgot and cast away. Something that cannot be returned. The sparks of the crashing swords, crashing spirits, many dozens of unskilled attacks and defenses. They were clumsy attacks that just tried to deny each other. Why did such a thing revive a worn-out oath? They were impossible attacks. His charging body is covered in wounds. His fingers are broken, and his limbs are slashed apart. His breathing has stopped, although the boy does not know it. Even at a rush, his speed is trifling, and his attacks are mediocre. Although he has absorbed his combat skill, his techniques are now as clumsy as an amateur's again. His attack is executed haphazardly, but his attack is heavier than any that came before. There is no superhero. The boy's mind is obliterated by the one who grew to realize that fact more than anyone. The distorted mind should collapse from the stress. It is obvious that the boy will be devoured by his contradiction. But where are the signs of his defeat? He moves his wounded body and steadies his faltering mind, but there is no hesitation in his attacks. His fury is incomparable to before. The boy swings his sword recklessly. The attacks are equally matched. The space is filled with sparks, and everything entering it will be cut to pieces. It is an embodiment of their minds that melt together even though they repel each other. The desperate attack. It is only a dying spark that a man gives off in his last moment. The boy gasps with each attack, almost falls, steadies himself, and attacks yet again. Seeing it, he is confident that his enemy has no power left. The boy in front of him is a corpse, but why is there infinite power in his arms holding the sword? He sees an illusion. It must be because he got bored with seeing someone attacking even though he knows it is useless. The irritation boils up his most detestable impulse. What did he feel was beautiful and noble? The boy said that he does not want to see people die meaninglessly. He wanted to save everyone who was in trouble if they could be saved. It is out of the question. He knows such a wish is just meaningless hypocrisy. An ideal where others are more important than yourself is an ideal that should never be held. But, did he ever not dream that such a life would be wonderful? He cannot hear what his enemy is saying. His enemy's voice is too weak to be heard, but his attacks are fierce. The enemy's hands are already one with the hilt. It must be to fix the sword there, but the impact will go to his body like that. The boy is covered with blood and he will die if he retreats. For the boy, every attack comes with great pain. The voices are hard to pick up. The boy, who is on the verge of death, frantically imposes the impediment in front of him. He does not need to be told where the boy's motivation is coming from. It is a bad dream. He is shown an old mirror image. He keeps swinging his sword with tearing arms. The only thing there is a strained yell. There were people that could not be saved, and there was him who could not save them. He saw people dying meaninglessly, and he swore never to let such a thing occur again. There is only one thing that comes and goes through his mind. Things he believes in. Things he believed in. An ideal he swore never to surrender. Something he will never surrender. And so, he realizes that there will be no end to the attacks. This enemy will not stop. The enemy will never stop on his own. Even though the boy is attacking with all his power, he is taking no notice of him. The boy is only trying to slash himself, the one who obstructs himself. His enemy is fighting for the things he believed in, and for the things he will keep on believing in. Realizing that, he grits his teeth. The boy keeps challenging even though he knows he cannot win and that it is meaningless. That is the exact mistake he made. But then, why? Why did these eyes keep on staring at him? Another crashing sound. The attack is parried. The enemy that cannot block any attacks repels the attack like nothing. The mirror breaks. He is not strong. He is not strong at all. He fights risking his life, looking ugly and miserable. But, who in the world can laugh at him? He stops his breath. Parrying the oncoming attack, the enemy readies his sword again. A final blow. Will the boy stay standing in spite of all his wounds and the strain on his mind? Of course. The boy overcame such limits 10 times. It is obvious that the enemy will not stop even if the attack is blocked. The boy slashes his sword even though he is collapsing. Those eyes. They are looking straight at him. He sees a familiar dream for an instant. Whose dream was that, and who inherited that dream? The boy's voice reaches the empty mind. A single scenery closes in. What an ugly, fanatic goodwill. A beautiful ideal to struggle for. The final blow is coming in, but the man does not watch the sword that is about to pierce him. That is the only thing on the boy's mind. Even if his heart is a fake, the beauty of what he believed in is real. That is something he cannot lie about, and it is the origin of his powers. The boy cries out with a smashed throat that he wants everyone to be happy. Yes, there is no road of retreat, because the dream is. He has made numerous mistakes. He has no way to atone for them except for hating and killing himself. His hands are covered in blood, and it is something that can never be forgiven, but still, a straight gaze, mistakes and lies, shaking off everything, running on without stopping. The battle ends with a victory. The pain in his chest does not lift up his conviction. As the man hates himself, salvation will never be given. But he earns a small answer. The answer is only for this summoning. It is a meaningless thing that he will forget the next time he is summoned. But there is nothing to regret. It is something that has already been built up, something that the boy will build using all his life. There is only one thing coming and going through his mind. There is regret. He does not know how many times he wished to redo things. Heroic Spirit Emiya will forever curse this end. But still. I was not wrong. There's nothing to talk about. The boy will remain, and he will leave. The only things that remain are the exchanged blows. The path is long. Relying on the sounds of the swords echoing far away, the boy heads for the deserted plains.